of the Kids Toys live mystery crochet along. Ooh, I am so excited for this one. This one is one of my favorite patterns in this collection because it has so many variety of things that you can do to add on to swap, to do whatever you like, really. But I'm going to guide you through it the way I did it. And then, I'll talk about some adjustments that you might be able to make in case certain things are too hard. I believe there's only one thing that I would consider maybe being hard. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I'm of course not going to crochet the entire thing on camera. That would take too long. However, I will be focusing on the most important parts of this pattern, specifically the crochet parts of it, and I will guide you through the rest of it that is either sewn on or glued on in some kind of way, okay? So I will be as thorough as I can be, but you're here live, hopefully. That way you can ask me questions as we go through it, okay? I will try to make sure that I pause in between whenever there is a question so I can guide you through it so that all the confusions will be gone as we go through the pattern. So remember, this is not just a fun crochet along, although it is really, really fun, right? But I am here to answer your questions. I am here to support you through this pattern. And the reason I put this as pattern number 1 is, of course, it has 12 pages, which of course you don't have to do if you don't want to, right? Let's be clear. I should maybe call it 6 pieces of paper, crocheted pieces of paper. You know what I mean, right? But they're double-sided, so 12 pages, right? So if you want to do less, you do less. But the reason I did it now as pattern 1, it gives you enough time to finish it if you wanted it to be finished before the bingo is, the bingo winners are being announced, okay? Remember, you don't have to do this pattern as one of your patterns for the bingos, but you can. It is totally optional if you wanted to, okay? So make sure you guys hit the share button, the like button, the subscribe button, all the fun buttons that show your support, if you might want to call it that way, okay? So remember, if we get over 100 viewers, we're going to give away 3 prizes today, okay? We're getting close already. We're at 76 right now. So let's see, can we get to over 100? You hit that share button and we probably will. Anyways, so we're also going to talk about the bingo after the tutorial. Actually, let me guide you through the agenda real quick, okay? So you know what's going to happen. So first, we're going to go through the pattern. I'm going to start with a thermal crochet stitch, and then we're going to go through it page by page, and I will guide you through what I did on each page. And if there's crocheting required, that is considered potentially hard. Not that it is, but for some of you it might be, okay? I will guide you through it so you know how to do that, okay? Then the next part, once we're done with the tutorial section of this live, we're going to briefly talk about the ebook one more time. Just small, little quick moment, right? We do still have a sale. It is $15 off with that coupon code up there in case you do want to get the ebook, and I'll guide you through the bingo as well, right? And we can check off one of the boxes today. Yay! And at the very, very end, we're giving away prizes. So that is going to be at the end. Mrs. Sherbert said, I wish I had captions so I could read since I'm at work and can only listen at some of the times. I understand. YouTube doesn't do captions while I'm live. However, there will be captions after the live. YouTube has to process it first, and that takes a little bit of time. They can't do that instantly. It's not like TV, unfortunately, okay? So it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, I wish that would be the case, but it has to process first. So captions will be available for replay, but I highly recommend staying here if you want to have a chance to win some prizes. So it's kind of a trade-off, I guess. Okay, where are my newbies at? I see a lot of newbies. Hello, everyone. Okay, I see Emily, Tina, Mary. Hello. Mary says, I'm so stoked for this. Hang on, I'm going to show you off. Hi, everyone. I'm so stoked for this. Recently retired. Congratulations. I could actually make a crochet along live. Yay. Oh, you strained your wrist. Now, that's a bummer. Well, at least you can listen and you can ask questions if you can still type some things up, hopefully. Reduced to watching once again. It's fine, but you can still be part of the bingo. Woohoo! And of course, the prizes, okay? So I'm glad you're here, Mary. Who else is here? Barbara, Nays Crochet. Hello. I haven't seen you here. So you must be new. Welcome. I see White Gnome. I see, who else do I see? Debbie, Cheryl, Andrea, Anita, and all the other peeps that are here. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let's go through the overview first, at least the beginning part of it, and we'll start immediately with the thermal crochet stitch, okay? So let me swap around so you can see me a little bit more in a bigger view. So I'm going to use blue for this tutorial because some of the colors are a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to do it all in blue today, okay? Let's see. Karen has a quick question. Oh, no, it's not a question. I need a refresh on a thermal stitch. Karen says, girl, I got you. I will take care of it, okay? I will guide you through it. I know I've so many videos on the thermal crochet stitch already on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to guide you through it, and I sure hope it's going to help you. I'm going to try to be as slow as possible to guide you through it. It's not as hard as you might think. It's just a little bit time consuming, okay? So this is the book, or should I say sensory quiet book that is designed as a trifold, okay? So we're going to focus first on the thermal crochet stitch, which as you can see is pretty much for the cover, the binding right here, as well as all the pages. Now I'll say right away, you can pick any color you want. Let's be clear. I arranged it according to whatever I put on it, and I thought it looked good, right? You don't have to pick the same colors as me. You know, literally let your creativity be wild. Pick other colors if you like, okay? So the binding for me is white, the cover for me is gray, and then you see all the covers here in between, all the pages in between, there are different colors. You pick whatever you want, okay? So first we're gonna go through the thermal stitch, and then I guide you through it page by page, and whatever needs to be crocheted and people have questions about, I will try to answer them as much as I can possibly do it, okay? So I'm going to slide it down so you can see it a little bit better. I don't know if this is too far, so let's see if it's going to focus on it. Yay, it does. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to make the same chain count as all the pages. They have different chain counts, so make sure you reference the written pattern. There is a link in the description for that. I'm also going to pop it into the comments real quick, especially for Facebook. They probably don't see it there yet, so I'm going to pop it in there real quick. So that is the free to view pattern, okay? Free to view. It has ads. It's not printable. So if you do want it ad free, you have a few different options. You can join Nikki's Crochet Club, get it that way. You can purchase it through Ravelry or Etsy, or you get it via the ebook at a big deal, okay, a big sale. So therefore you get all 40 at once. So it's up to you, just letting you know, okay? I do want to point out that if you feel like the thermal crochet is too challenging for you, it is more of a challenging stitch, okay? Then you can also just change it out to single crochet, but I do recommend having 2 layers. So let me explain. If you have 2 single crochet layers, okay, 2 pieces of single crochet, and I put them together, then it's the same volume as a thermal crochet stitch, okay? Let's see. I see Karen. Hang on. Karen says, how's the thermal crochet different from the wattle stitch? You know what? I don't remember the wattle stitch, so I won't be able to tell you. I've heard of this name before, and my memory is lost right now. I'm pretty sure it's completely different. But the thermal crochet, I'll just explain to you what the thermal crochet is, okay? Because this is the best way to explain it. So when you go in rows, okay? When you go in rows, Pretend this is a flat piece of crochet, okay? You go in rows. And then what you typically do is you do this, right? You go in, let's call it a zigzag, okay? You go in a zigzag upwards, okay? That's literally what you do in rows when you crochet anything in rows. So here's the thing. When you are doing the thermal crochet stitch, I need you to kind of look at it from this perspective versus the front view. I want you to look at it from this perspective, okay? So what you're actually going to do is you working your way upwards, but you're doing it in this direction. You're going to go in a zigzag. So you go in this direction, then you go in this direction, then you go in this direction. Let me explain a little bit differently. I'm going to draw it out because I think that's going to make it a little bit better. And I'm going to use a thick marker to make sure that you can see it very well. Okay. This is green. I hope you can see it. So let me explain. Ooh, I lost my little sticker. Hang on. Okay. So there we go. So if you're doing traditional single crochet rows, okay, traditional single crochet rows, you have, let me call it like, this is like the vertical or the horizontal view, whichever one you want to consider it. Like this is the side view, okay? It's going to be like this. So that's like one line, okay, in thickness. So if you're doing it in rows, you do this direction. Let's say you're righty, okay, or lefty. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to make a zigzag so you understand it, right? You go in one row, you're going up, you go in the next row, you're going up, you go in the next row, right? You're going like this, right? That's what most of you guys are familiar with when it comes to single crochet. Now thermal, and there's many versions, we're focusing on the thermal single crochet stitch, okay? What you're doing over here is I'm actually going to look at it from this perspective right now, not from this, okay, but from the side view. So if you're looking at it from the side view right now, which I understand it's a little bit hard to do, so instead of looking at it from this way, you're looking at it from this direction, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go up this direction, then this direction, this direction, this, etc., okay? So what you're doing is you're doing half a row at a time. Okay, it's literally half a row at a time, and that creates thickness. So it's like two layers together. Do you see? I wrote here, I have here one line. Okay, that one line turns into two lines for the thermal crochet stitch. Do you see that now? Because we're going in a zigzag up. This one literally just goes row by row, right? This is row by row, like literally. But here you're doing half a row at a time. So you're creating two layers at the same time. Is this clear so far? I just want to make sure this is so far. This kind of makes sense, okay? So just that you know. So it is two layers at the same time. So first we're on one side, then we're on the other side. Is this making sense so far? I'm going to show you how to crochet it now, and I point to this in a second again so you understand what I mean. Because what you're going to have to do is when you count your rows, count rows on both sides, okay? Because you're doing half a row here, half a row here, half a row here, etc. So you're going to have to add it together in order to figure out how many rows you actually did, okay? So let's actually do the crocheting part of this because I understand that can be confusing, okay? Gloria says, I took several tries to get the thermal stitch. I just kept repeating Nikki's video until it clicked. Yay, I found the first rows of the heart. 100% Gloria. The first few rows are the most complicated because you can't see it yet, okay? You can't see the effect yet until you're a few rows in. So be patient with yourself, okay? I do have at least 3 other thermal crochet stitch videos. So if this video won't help you, be sure to look at the other ones, okay? But let's actually get started. So let me move this to the side. So whoopsie daisy, I just pulled it over. Stay over there. All right, so we're just going to get started. The very first row is just going to be single crochet stitches. So depending on the amount of chains you have to do them. I just have here 10 just to have a sample, okay? So we're going to start from the second chain from the hook, and I highly recommend that you are going into the back bump of your chain, okay? Let me explain. Front loop, back loop, turn it around as the back bump. It's going to make your life easier if you do. Trust me. You're going to argue with me right now. I see your head bobbing. You're like, nope, nope. I'm liking my back loop. Okay, I'm going to argue with you right now. Go use the back bump. I don't want to force you to it, but you will be frustrated later and say, I should have listened. I should have. You know how your mom always tells you to do something and you don't want to do, and then later like, oh, I should have listened to my mom. This is one of those moments. Please do so. Okay, please go in the back bump. You are going to be upset later if you don't. Okay, so go in the back bump right now. Okay, and you're going to do a regular single crochet row. Nothing fancy yet. Nothing fancy yet. All you're doing is single crochet stitches, okay? And once you reach the end, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn. Now that chain of 1 is optional, but I personally think for the thermal crochet stitch, it does help having a single crochet stitch over there, okay? So this is how we're doing so far, okay? Back bump, back bump. You guys got it? Not back loop, back bump, okay? Let's see. Emily says, okay, class, crochet hooks down, listen, ears on, mouth is closed. Emily, thank you, girl. See, Emily says it nicer than I do. I have the German in me. Emily is a young mom, so she has the young mom in her. Thank you, Emily, for making it nicer. I appreciate you. Okay, so now let's actually get started. Okay, so everyone's paying attention, right? So you have your first row of single crochet done. Woohoo! Now you're actually starting to do the thermal crochet stitch. So I want you to pay attention and ask me questions if you have any. But I need you to look. Okay, this is not something, this is going to be like, I just listen to it and pay attention. That's not going to work. You actually have to look. And feel free to watch this over and over again as you might need to, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a chain of 1, okay? And the turning process is a little bit different, okay? I am not turning this direction, okay, like you typically do for rows, okay? I'm not. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to work my way backwards from that same view, from this view. So remember how I wrote this down over here? Let me move this over again. Remember how I wrote this down, okay? Hang on, it's still not in view. There we go. Okay, so let me point to it in a little bit better. This one is going to go up in this row, right? What we're doing over here in thermal crochet is we're going to go in this direction. I'm crocheting upwards towards your face right now, okay? So I'm going to leave this viewpoint right now just how it is, and I'm going to crochet my way backwards, but on top of it, like, let me see. Do I have anything that's a little bit more pointy? Okay, I have a giant needle. Let's do this. So instead of going in this direction, I'm going to go and crochet in this direction, okay? This way, towards you, okay? So pay attention, okay? That's what I'm doing. My paper is a little stuck all the time. Okay, so what I did now is I made my chain of 1. I'm going to go back into that single crochet stitch that I just used, that I just made, okay? I'm going into the back loop of it. I want you to pay attention. Back loop. Now you're going to find the parallel loop down here, okay, from that chain. Do you see now why I told you go in a back bump? Because that one wouldn't be very visible, okay? It would be very hard to see. You are trying to go into the parallel loop, okay? Do you see how it's parallel to each other? Okay, we're not going in a chain of 1. Do you see? That's just right there. We're ignoring it. We're going to go into the last single crochet I made and the parallel loop on the bottom of that chain, okay? So once you go into that, this seems very straightforward so far, right? Trust me, once we get along a little bit, you're like, hang on, I can't see. I get it. I get it. Once you get a few rows in, it's going to be much easier, okay? So you're going to go in, you're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through. And now it's going to be like, oh gosh, now I can't see. I can't see. Okay, first you're going to freeze. You're going to take a stitch marker of some sort. Let me pull up my stitch markers over here. Okay, and then we're going to add a stitch marker to that very first stitch I just made. We don't want to lose it. We don't want to lose it. And you are going to lose it if you're not going to add your stitch marker, especially if you have trouble with the stitch. Okay? I added my stitch marker to my very first stitch. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So because when I come back around, I know where my last stitch is. Okay? So trust me on this. If you have trouble with the thermal stitch or you're a beginner and you've never done this before, add your stitch marker, please. Okay? This is me saying it for your own voice. It's like me speaking in your voice saying, please do it now so I'm not going to be mad at myself later. You get what I'm saying. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next stitch. So I'm still holding it this way because personally I think it's the easiest. You can also hold it this way if you like, but personally I like it easier this way. I can see better. Okay, I'm going to go into the next stitch. Remember this we already used. It looks like a triangle. We already used it. We're going into the next stitch and the parallel loop. Okay, parallel loop on the bottom of that chain. Okay, pull up a loop and make your single crochet stitch. It's easy, isn't it? Right? As long as you can see your loops. I think the hardest part is finding your loops. Making a single crochet stitch is not hard, right? But finding your loops is. Okay, I'm trying to go slow here in the beginning so that you have no problem seeing it. Do you see they're parallel to each other? Yarn over, pull through, and make your single crochet stitch. You're literally going in those parallel loops. Okay, do you see how we're going crocheting on top of it? We're crocheting on top of this. Okay, not on that, on the side. Think of it like a side view. Okay, we're working on the side. If that's what you want to call it, do whatever you like and however you want to call it. It's fine by me. Okay, so you're going to do this until the end. Okay, so here I have 2 more stitches. And then it's going to naturally turn. Pay attention to how I'm holding it right now. I'm doing my very last stitch over here. Okay, do you see my very last stitch? Not the turning chain, last stitch. And see how my yarn and everything is moving. Ooh, it's flipped around. Ta-da, it's flipped. Okay, so now we're already in the next row. Woo, that went fast. Okay, so you're going to make your chain of 1, and now we're going to work our way backwards. So what we actually did right now, let's freeze for a second. We kind of went half a row up. Are you seeing that you can't really see the full row over here? It's kind of cut in half. AKA we did half a row, right? And we placed that half a row on this side. Now we're going to need to place the other half a row on this side. We're going up in a zigzag like this. Okay, so we were on this side now. We need to now crochet on this side. You'll see in a second how that works. Okay, so on this side, we don't have that row yet. On this side, we do. And pay attention that for the thermal crochet stitch, you will always see the back view of your single crochet stitches. You will not see the front view. The front view is hidden on the inside of the 2 layers. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to grab your next stitch marker because you always want to have 2 for this one ready to go. Have your second stitch marker ready. Okay, so I made my chain of 1. What you're now going to do from now on is you're going to go into the back loop of the stitch that you just made, right? Whatever it is, or the next stitch, and you're going to go into the leftover loop on the bottom. So remember, we used the back loop. Actually, I'm going to point to it right now. Here, we're using the back loop, right? And the front loop is left over. Do you see that? Okay, let me point to it again. This is the back loop we're about to use. We're going to have a leftover loop. This is the leftover loop from row 1. Okay, do you see the leftover loop right there? That used to be the front loop. Okay, so I'm going here in the back loop and I'm going into the leftover loop that's parallel to each other. We're leaving alone that front loop behind here. Do you see that front loop? We're ignoring it. We're going to use that in the next row. Got it? So I'm going to go into that one, and I'm pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through. I made my single crochet stitch. Freeze! Add your stitch marker. Okay? Trust me on this. You're going to have a hard time finding it otherwise. Okay? We're adding our stitch marker to the very first stitch. Boop! And by the way, we still have that stitch marker over here so we can find our last stitch. Okay? So again, you're going to go right here in the next stitch. So don't get confused now. Where's my next stitch? Okay? We use the one with the, I always point to it and say the triangle. Do you see that little triangle? That is your 2 loops squished together. We just used them. So now we're going to go into the next one. The next one is right here. Okay? right here's the next one. Back loop. Okay, I'm going to hold it like this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to use my needle here. So back loop, leftover loop, and do you see that front loop here kind of hidden behind my hook? We're going to use it in the next row. We're using it in the next row. That is the leftover loop that we're going to use in the next row. This is the leftover loop from the previous row. Okay, you got it? So that's what we're going into. So now I'm going to grab that and go into those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Making the single crochet is not hard. I'm going to say it again. It is hard to find your loops usually. If you don't pay attention, you're going to go into the wrong ones. And trust me, how many times I have not grabbed my parallel loop and then it's kind of off a little bit. If you start seeing it not parallel to each other, that means somewhere you skipped a loop, okay, or skipped a stitch. So you'll see in a second what I'm talking about. It's lining up. I'll point to it in a moment, okay? So you're now going to keep going, doing the back loop and the leftover loop. It's always 2 loops over here, okay? Yes, tension makes a big difference, Andrea says. 100%. Don't make it tight on this one, but also don't make it too loose, okay? This is going to create nice thickness, okay? So you're literally going to go and do this until the end. So right here, you can start seeing that once you are towards the end, that can be a little bit challenging to see. But because we added our stitch marker, we can easily see it. They're literally parallel to each other right here. Parallel stitches, right? And now we naturally turn because we're at the end, we're naturally turning. So now I can take my stitch marker out and I can use it for my next first stitch, okay? So I made my chain of 1 and I'm going into the next one. So I'm going to make 1 more row with you guys together, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to do the very last row. There is a very special thing you're going to do at the last row, okay? So I'm going to do here, one more time, I'm going to freeze for a second so that we can pay attention. What did we just do, okay? So if you're going to look over here, you're going to see 2 rows, okay? Let me point to them really again with my needle. Are you seeing 2 rows? Are you seeing 2 rows? I see 2 rows. You're going to count here 1, 2. I like to go and look at my little roundness over here, right? This is the back of your single crochet stitch. Thermal crochet stitches will only show you the back of the stitches. The front one is hidden behind. You can't see the front view, okay? No pretty V's over here. We're only seeing the back, okay? So you see those? This is here the 3rd loop behind the V, right? That one. I usually count that one. So on this side, you see 2 rows, 1 and 2. On this side, you only see 1. So what do you have to do? How many rows have we done so far? Are you guys seeing what I'm doing? We have done 3 rows. On one side, you see 1 row. On the other side, you see 2 rows. That means in total, we have done 3. You have to add up both sides together because, let me remind you again, we're going in a zigzag half a row and we're going from one side to the other side, okay? And when you're going from one side to the other side, it is not like a see-through thing. This is not transparent. You can't see the other side from this view. I can't see that the other side has 2 rows. I need to add them up. There's a little math involved, okay? You need to add up the side on one side and then the other side. You're counting your rows, okay? Count your rows on this one. Both sides, add them together. That's how you will know. Got it? Okay? That also means if you say, I don't want to do the thermal crochet stitch and I would rather do single, and you're going to do your 2 layers of single, you're going to do half the amount of rows because you're doing it twice. It's still the same amount of rows in the end. You're just doing it twice, right? For the single crochet thing. If you're just doing single, not thermal. If you're making 2 layers and then sew them together to get the same thickness, right? That's just on the side. I'm not doing this here. I'm just letting you know if you do want to swap. Okay, let's do 1 more row together real quick, okay? Made my chain of 1. I'm looking for my back loop and I'm looking for my leftover loop. Do you see the leftover loop? This one, the front loop I pointed out earlier, like, you know, the previous row. We have a front loop over here. That is going to happen for the next row. That's going to be the leftover loop right there. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and make my single crochet stitch. Freeze! add the stitch marker to your very first stitch so you're not missing it. Okay, you want to add that stitch marker, especially if you're a beginner. Okay, now which is my next stitch? Not the one with the little triangle right there, right? The arrow. It's going to be the next one. Let me point out at it a little bit better. So if I pull this apart a little bit, by the way, if you pull this apart, you can see the front view, right? You can see the front, the right side of your stitch, right? You can see it right hidden behind. Okay, this is the stitch we just used because we're squishing them together. This is your next stitch. These two, you're going to pull them together. Are we getting it? Are there questions about the thermal crochet stitch? Are there questions so far? Is everyone understanding it? All right, so you're going to go into the back loop and the leftover loop, and you can see, if I'm going to freeze here in the middle of this, you can kind of see how I'm working on one side only. Are you seeing that? I'm literally on this side. I'm not crocheting on that side right now. I'm only crocheting on that side. You're literally hopping from one side to the other. Boop-a-doop. It's like ping pong. Boing, 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 boing. Okay? So that's kind of what you're doing. You're playing ping pong with crochet. If you want to call it that way, go for it. Okay? So you're literally, and how you're going to hold is kind of up to you. At some point, you're going to start holding it like this because it gets heavier and heavier, right? And you're going to just, point downwards. Instead of crocheting kind of on a up, you're going to crochet downwards. That's kind of what we're doing, right? We're pulling up that one leftover loop with the back loop, and then you're going to crochet right on top of it and crocheting your single crochet stitch. You see, I'm only crocheting on one side, right? Here's my last loop, right? It's, marked with my stitch marker, so I'm all good. So there we go. So now I can take my stitch marker off. Let's count our rows again, right? So if I now look on this side, I can see my little bumps, okay? I have 2 on this side. If I turn it around, how many do I see? Also 2. 2, 1, and 2. I'm looking at these little roundness. That's how you count, right? That's how you count. So now if you pay attention to it a little bit more close, if I hold it like this, are you seeing that they're parallel to each other? I'm going to hold it like this. If I would make a line over here, right? If I literally go through it with my needle, are you seeing that they're literally straight? Are you seeing that they're straight? Okay, they're literally straight right here. Okay, if they're not straight, I promise you, you skipped a loop somewhere. I promise you. If you see that you're literally taking a long needle of some sort and push it through, okay? You can even take a ruler and lay it on top. If your needle starts bending, right? The little loops, these rounded loops, if they're not literally on top of each other, I promise you, you skipped a loop somewhere. It's going to do a slant somewhere. You're going to see it, okay? You're going to see it. I might even be able to look at my project if I have a mistake somewhere, so I can point to it so you see what I'm talking about. Let me show you the very, very last row. The last row, you're like, okay, I'm done with my thermal crochet project. All I have to do is my finishing row. Feel free to call it the edge row. I don't care what you want to call this, okay? Let me show you. When you're completely done, you're like, okay, my very last row, it's time, it's time. Here's what you're going to do. Instead of going through the back loop and the leftover loop, that's 2 loops, you're going to go through all of them. You're going to use the front loop, the back loop, and the leftover loop. You're going through all. Because if you don't, you're going to have a weird edge somewhere. Do you see that? It almost looks like a staircase. We want to get rid of the staircase. In order to get rid of the staircase, for the last row only, you're going to go through all the loops. All the loops, okay? Go through all the loops. And in this case, I don't have to add my stitch marker anymore because I'm doing my last row. Okay, and I'm going through all of them. So that way I have a finishing clean edge, top and bottom. Go through all loops on your very last row. Okay, and I'll show you in a second. I'm going to freeze here for a second. So you can see on this side and on this side, it's clean. No staircase. You got it? Are there any questions? Cheryl says, my mom would use 2 colors, so it would be reversible. Oh, I love that. Cheryl, fantastic idea. Go for it. Make it happen. You can totally do this for your book cover. Wouldn't that be fun for your book cover to have 2 colors, one on each side? Hey, that would be cool. Share a great idea. Love that, especially for an Afghan. Yes. Okay, so let me show you. Now I finished this up so I can show you there is no staircase at the end. Okay, look how clean it is. Front view and back view. Now be aware that the very last row is seen on both sides. Careful when you count now. Careful when you count now. The very last row you're counting once because you used all the loops off now. The very last row is only counted once. So let me count this little swatch together with you all. This is my front, the right side of your stitches. You see the pretty V's right there? Okay, I'm going to count that once, right? 1, 2, 3. Should I count upwards so you see it? Roundness, roundness, right? So 1, 2, 3 rows. Got it? Now, if I turn it around, I know that the last row, I can't count again. I just did it, okay? So I see here 1, 2, skip. We already counted that one. So that means 5 rows. I just did 5 rows. So if you can even count the other way around. Do it the other way. Count only the roundness. Roundness 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're not counting that. It has no roundness. You can do that too. Whatever works best for you, okay? Most important thing is if you have a long needle of some sort or use a ruler, these should stack. They should stack. Make sure they stack. You got it? I'm going to say it over and over again because I promise you, you're going to have a mistake. We do that. That happens naturally. I promise you, okay? If you don't see them stacking on top of each other like bricks, boop, 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 like staircase, right? Then you're going to have a mistake somewhere. Jen says she had 4 tumors removed on Friday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling better soon. I'll send you some prayers. I hope you feel better soon. Okay, I'm going to look at my project. First of all, look at the cover here, okay? I'm going to take my needle again, and I'm going to hold it. Look, I'm not pulling here anything. Are you seeing that my little roundness, little loopy loops there? Do you see how they nicely stack? They all stack. If they don't stack, you made a mistake. So let's see if I can find a mistake for myself because I know I've did one here somewhere. Question is, am I going to be able to find it? Because I know I've done at least one mistake here. My feeling is that I hid it behind one of my projects and you probably can't see it. Let's see if I can find a mistake here somewhere. I'm sure I can. This one doesn't. Let's see if I can find one. Let's see if I can find one. I'll probably hit it. I can't find one right now. It's very easy to find. Very easy to find if you make a mistake. Okay, let me see on this side if I made a mistake over here. Oh, I hit them all. I hit them all. Okay, I hit them all. I can't find a mistake. If you look closely, you can see how they all stack. They all stack. I can't find mistake. Well, there you go. I didn't make a mistake. Boop. Okay, so I know the camera's a little bit off here because I just put something on top. So let's see. This is a little bit more focused. There we go. All right, so let me say it again. If they are not lined up, okay, that means you made a mistake somewhere. Are we okay on this? I spent a little bit more time on the thermo crochet stitch because I knew the stitch is a little bit challenging, but now we're going to go into the easy parts. Okay, so what are you actually crocheting on the thermo crochet stitch? It is the cover, it's the binding, and it's the pages. That's it, okay? I'm going to zoom out here a little bit because I'm a little bit close, okay? Ooh, my little thing went outwards. There we go. Okay, so let me say it again. Let me move this to the side. So you're doing for the thermo crochet stitch. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus again. There we go. The cover, the binding, and the pages. Thermo crochet stitch. Can you do it in single? Yes, but I recommend doing it in 2 layers. You do the entire thing, half the amount of rows in single, and then you do the exact same thing one more time, and then you sew it together so that it's thicker. The idea of it is that you have a thicker layer, because otherwise it's too wobbly, okay? It's just too wobbly. You need that sturdiness a little bit, and that's why I use the thermo crochet stitch, because it's a little bit sturdier. Got it? All right, so let's cover it. What did I do on page 1? No crocheting at all. Yay! Easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? All I did is I glued on these numbers, okay? I literally took these foam numbers come with a little, sticky thing on the back. You take that off, and I added a little dollop of hot glue, just because I know that this glue from the Velcro, not the Velcro, from the foam is not as strong. So I added a little bit of hot glue on the back of it and then glued it on. Now for the zipper, I also glued it on. You can sew it on, okay? I just didn't want the weird lines. I was worried about not making straight lines. I didn't want to see the lines on the back. So I wanted to make sure it's clean. So I added glue here, again, hot glue. And as long as you make sure it doesn't touch your teeth, right? So what I did is I just added it here on the edge. You can see I can still bend this over, right? Only on the edge, and that's where I added the glue, and that's it. Page 1, done, okay? Page 2, again, no crocheting needed here. All you're doing is, and you can kind of see my little knots here. All I did is I added little knots, and you can use other yarns too. You can use the red yarn if you like, okay? I added white because I wanted you guys to see the lines from this. But all I did is I added a little knot. I added my beads. I went to the other side, made a knot, moved over to the next area, however far you want to go. I did 2 stitches over, then added my next 10 beads, went over, made a knot, moved over, right? I kind of went in a zigzag like this. Whee! Okay? And I added 6 of them, as you can see. You can add more, okay? You can make them further apart. You can make less of them. I made them 2 stitches apart from each other. I made it nice and clean. So I have 6 of them. So if you can squish it in a way, you have 100 in the end, right? So 100 beads, so 10 in a row. Go for it, okay? Totally fine. Tracy says, can you crochet on a sewing machine, the machine sew to zipper? Wait, oh, you talking about this? I guess you could, but you need to remember this is very thick, okay? So you are going to see the lines on the other side then. This is a thick layer. Do you want to see your sewing lines on the other side? Because you would with a sewing machine. So would I do it? I probably wouldn't, because I don't want to see it on the other side. So, that's one of the reasons I didn't sew it by hand or with a machine, okay? I just glued it on. It's also much quicker, okay? So anyways, beads done. Now let's talk about this, okay? So I'm going to do a quick survey here for these little pieces, okay? Because these are very basic, so I don't want to waste your time. So if everyone knows how to make a circle, I'm going to skip that part. Would you like me to show you how to make a circle? Let me know. Would you like me to show you how to make a square? Let me know. I was thinking about showing you how to do the triangle and oval only. Are we good on that? If everyone says we're good, then I'm going to do that. If someone needs a circle, let me know. I do have a separate tutorial on that, so it's not needed for this. But I want to cover really quickly the triangle and the oval, because the oval actually is a few times in this project, which is why I want to cover it. But please let me know. Do you need help with a circle? Do you need help with a square? Remember, you do have the written pattern, okay? I'm going to show you beginning part of the triangle real quick, and then you just have one repeat row. That's what this part is. But I will show you to do the oval. Everyone says good to go. Wonderful. I'm glad you guys are all with me on this. Okay, so let's freeze here for a second. I'll show you the triangle, at least the beginning part, and the oval, okay? So let me move this to the sides. Do I need to zoom in again? Let me know. I don't want to zoom in and out all the time, so let's see if I can get my camera to focus. There we go. Do you need me to zoom in and all the time? Let me know. Where's my scissors? Okay, I'm gonna snip this right now in case I need to reference it. So there we go. Let's do the triangle and the oval, okay? The oval I'm actually gonna show you. The triangle I'm just gonna do the beginning part of it, okay? For the triangle, I'm gonna do a random amount of chains right now because it doesn't matter, okay? I'm just gonna do here, how many did I do? 6, okay? I don't know how many I actually did in a pattern, but it doesn't really matter. We are going to start out with the very first row of just single crochet stitch. So again, I like to get on a back bump because it's prettier that way. So back bump, 1 single crochet per stitch. That's all you're doing. 1 single crochet per stitch, okay? Once you reach the end, I don't do a chain of 1. This is not the thermal stitch. No chain of 1. Just turn, okay? And now what you're going to do is you're going to do a regular single single crochet decrease. What does that mean? You want me to zoom in a little bit? No worries. Happy to do so. I'm just going to have to zoom back out later, okay? Just heads up on that. Oh, that was too close. It's not going to do it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a regular single crochet decrease. What does that mean? It means we're going to go in the first stitch, pull up a loop. We're going to go in the next stitch, pull up a loop. It's not the invisible way. The invisible is only for rounds. This is rows, okay? For rows, you're going to do the regular one, and you're going to pull up a loop on each stitch, the first and the second, yarn over, pull through. That's your decrease, okay? Once you have your decrease, you're going to go into the rest of the stitches and going to do 1 single crochet per stitch. By the way, I am seeing 97 people here. Where are my last 3 at? If we get to 100, we're doing 3 prizes today. Come on, we just need 2 more. We're at 98. 2 more. Okay, so once you're at the end, you're going to turn, and now you're going to repeat that row for triangles. So you're going to pull up a loop on the first stitch, pull up a loop on the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. The rest of the stitches of the row are going to be 1 single per stitch. So you're decreasing by 1 stitch per row, okay? Now turn and repeat. So decrease for the first 2, right? And then 1 single until the end. Once you have 2 stitches left, that is when you're going to do just a decrease. That's all you're doing. And then that is done. You made your triangle. Ta-da! Triangle done. Okay, so that's how this works. Now, my triangle in the actual project is bigger. I just made a smaller one. But it's the same idea. Okay, snip that. Let's go to the oval. Okay, let's go to the oval shape. So I'm going to show you the oval once. There are some parts of the patterns where something is slightly different. I will cover that verbally so that you understand how to do it. But the most important part is you need to understand how an oval works. What is an oval? An oval, let me draw it out for those who don't know. Now, this is a crochet oval, okay? So whoops, wrong side. A typical circle, right, looks like this. Wow, not perfect, but good enough, okay? Circle. So an oval typically looks like this, okay? Typically. Roughly, you know what I mean. It's kind of like you take a bubble and you pull, right? That's the idea. Okay, it's literally take your cheeks like, okay, that's the idea. Now for crochet oval, this is a little bit more challenging. I'm going to the general oval for crochet. So crochet oval. Okay, I'm going to make the easy way, which is take your circle, cut it in half, and put a rectangle or a square in between. So let's do that. Okay, you're going to take your circle, right? Cut it in half, like so. And now you're going to connect it with a triangle, with a rectangle or a square. That's what you're doing, okay? I'm going to make little dots here so you can see what I mean by that, right? And then so here in the center of it is either a square or a rectangle, okay? That's literally what it is. I see 104! Woohoo! We made it over 100! You guys are amazing! If you stay till the end, we're going to have 3 prizes to give away. Whoop whoop! Okay, so stay till the end. Otherwise, you won't have a chance to win some prizes, okay? So, is this clear about the oval? If you have an understanding about this, this will make the whole thing easier. You have a half circle on one side, a half circle on the other side, and that means you have a square or rectangle in the center. Hang on, what does that mean? That means there is increases in the middle? No increases in that center area. There's only increases on that half circle and that half circle. That means when you go through the pattern, you need to remember that. This can help you if you add a stitch marker on these little spots. If you add a stitch marker on these little spots, you will know that in the center of that spot, there's no increases. Should not be there unless the pattern tells you so. But in this case, for my specific one, Nope, no increases. Okay, so it's 1 stitch per stitch. On the outside, we have some increases. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to make a small little oval, right, so that you can actually see how to do this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a chain of, what do? I'm trying to get a good number here. I'm going to make a chain of 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That sounds about right. So that means we're going to split it up. We're going to have 1 stitch right here, okay, and 1 stitch right here. The outside 2 stitches will be turned into our half circles. That 1 stitch is going to be turned into the half circles, which means the center 3 stitches are going to be a little square / rectangle, depending on how big you are. Okay, are we good on this? Is this clear so far? Thank you guys all for joining us. Hello, everyone. Okay, is this clear what I just said? Okay, we have right here that 1 stitch, that edge stitch over here and over here. That's going to be turned into a half circle. The center 3 stitches for my little swatch is going to be our rectangle. That means those 3 stitches don't see any increases, only that stitch on the outside. Okay, so let's do this. So the very first stitch, I just said, that stitch is going to be our half circle. So we're going to add 3 single crochet stitches to that 1 stitch. Okay, 3 single in that 1 stitch. Now we are in those 3 stitches in the center of it. Again, I'm going in a back bump. Please do so. It's going to be so much easier. Okay, your 3 stitches in the center right here, they're just going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, 1 single per stitch. That's it. Okay, now we're back here on the edge, the other edge, right? 2 of them. We have 2 halves. We're going to make 3 single crochet stitches into that. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to need to work on the other side because an oval is round, right? We're not going in rows here. We're doing rounds. So we need to now work on the other side. That means in those 3 stitches, that center 3 stitches, we need to go back into those so that we can get a slip stitch over here, or continuous rounds if you like, okay? So that means we're turning our row upside down, right? And we're going to crochet back into the chains on the bottom here, and we're going to crochet our single crochet stitches. I'm going to weave in my yarn here at the same time, so recommend doing the same. So go into those center 3 stitches again on the bottom of it and crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, so that is now our rectangle in the center and our half and half, right, of the circle on those outsides. So now we're already starting to see our little oval. We're going to make a slip stitch into our first stitch. So I like to do the invisible way. So go through the first stitch from the back to the front and pull your loop back. Okay, pull it back. So now you have your oval. So let's do one more round together, just that you understand how to do it. The rest of it should be very straightforward. I do recommend adding your stitch markers, as I just pointed out. I'm going to skip them right here because it's such a small thing. It's going to bother me and it's going to bother you because you can't see, okay? So for your ovals that might be a little bit bigger, I do recommend adding your stitch markers, okay? So we're now in a half circle. We have 3 stitches in our half circle over here. Those are going to be increases. So just like you do for a circle, there's going to be increases, right? So it's going to be in those 3 stitches, right? If you take those 3 together, it's going to be 6, just like a circle, right? So go into each of those 3 stitches and you're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches. Yes, we're doing an increase, okay? So 2 single crochet stitches per stitch until you have your 3 done, okay? That's our half circle right there. Now we're in that center 3 stitches, right? Those 3 stitches, right, on this side and on this side. Those 3 stitches are part of a rectangle, right? They do not get an increase. Nothing. Just 1 stitch per stitch. So for 3 stitches, 1, 1, and 1. Got it? Now we're on our outer half circle and we're going to repeat what we did in the beginning. So exact same thing you did just now. You're going to do one more time. So half circle and then 3 stitches. Got it? So we're going to do an increase over here. So 1 increase, 2nd increase, and 3rd increase. Then it's going to be 1 stitch per stitch. 1, 1, and 1. I'm going to finish it up with a slip stitch into my first stitch. I like to do the invisible way. That means I take my hook out of my loop, insert it from the back to the front, and I pull my loop back. Okay, there we go. Now you see the oval already. Are you seeing it? Okay, I'm going to show you like the first half circle over here so you understand the rest of it. So now the half circle over here now has 6 stitches, right? We're increasing by 3 every round, okay? On this side and on this side. So over here, this half circle in the next round is going to be 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. Think of like a circle, right? Now we're going to do this 2 more times. 1 and then 2, right? 1 and then 2. So now we did that 3 times, right? 1 single and then increase 3 times. That's our half circles done. What do we do over here? We are in the center area of our rectangle. We're just doing 1 stitch per stitch. Okay, that's all we're doing. 1, 1, and 1. No increases or anything. Now you're just going to repeat that over here. All right, Mrs. Sherbert says, can we share your link for the crochet along? Please go ahead. Hit the share button. As long as you don't look like a spammer to the algorithm, hit the share button, tell everyone, please share. Yes, you can help other crocheters. This is not about me. This is about you and helping other crocheters. So yes, hit that share button, okay? Just don't hit it too many times. That will look like a bot. As long as you don't look like a bot, you're good to go. Share as many as you like. Maybe you have like 5 minutes in between each shares or something like that. Okay, are there any questions about the oval? Is this making sense now? If I finish this round, the next round would be 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and then an increase 3 times, 1 single in the next, how many stitches you have in that center area. For me, it's 3, and then repeat, etc. Okay, let's see. Tina says no increases in a rectangle. That's correct. The center area has no increases. Is this making sense? Okay, is this making sense? Holly and Mistletoe says, I keep dropping my crochet hook. Aw, you're supposed to put it down. Maybe your hook understands that. Put it down, sweetheart. Pay attention to me and use your hands right now for the keyboard, please, so that way you can ask me questions. I think your hook is trying to tell you something. Okay. I know. I'm trying to make it funny, okay? So don't be mad at your crochet hook. Let it be. As long as you know where he is, or she. I don't know. Is your hook a boy or girl? I don't know. For me, it's a boy. I usually yell at my crochet hook, okay? I don't know. For me, I'm thinking about my German. In Germany, I think we say the crochet hook is a boy. So that's why it goes in my head, right? Remember, in Germany, we have nouns have genders. So, yeah, anyways, whatever. Are you guys getting it now? Gigi says, yes, I finally got it. Woohoo! Okay, good. So, moving the oval to the side. Snippity snip that away. Okay, let's pull this one out again. Zoom out so we can all see. Is it going to focus? Yes, it is. Okay, let's go to the next section. So we're done with page 3, okay? Page 4 has the oval, okay? The only difference right here for this section right here, the white part that I'm pointing out right now, the only difference is that I decided at the very end, the last round, I swapped out single crochet stitches with double. And instead of adding 2 doubles, I added 3 doubles. And then I added a few half doubles. The rest of it is the same, okay? So I'm not going to cover that right now because I just taught you how to do the oval. So follow the pattern to the T and you'll be fine with this oval. I promise you. I spend more time on the oval right now on purpose because we have the oval a few times in here, okay? So now for this part right here, I'm not going to cover it. It's literally 1 stitch per stitch. And then there's a few chain one, skip one in between to have the little holes. That's it, okay? So I'm not going to cover that right now. That's silly, right? Let's focus on the things that are most important, okay? Now, right here, you see some circles. You guys all said you were fine on circles, so I'm going to skip that part. All I did is I glued this on. By the way, I glued this on too, okay? Yes, I glued it on. I didn't want weird lines on my shoe, so I didn't glue that on. However, I did sew this on first, okay? Sew this on first, then glue your shoe on. Got it? All right. For these ones, I glued on a number. Remember, I added a dollop of hot glue. Feel free to substitute E6000. It just will take longer to dry. That's all, okay? Be aware. So, hello everyone who came late. Stacy came a little late. No worries. I'm glad you made it. For these, I just added a little Velcro piece on the back, little circles. Again, I added a dollop of hot glue. I do recommend, let me say it, pay attention. I'm saying it right now. So if you are using Velcro, it's fine for crochet. The most important part is put the scratchy side on the piece you're taking off. Do not put it on this side, because if I accidentally close this and it's the scratchy side, it's going to ruin the other side. Scratchy side is on a piece that you're removing. Got it? This is the soft side. Don't ask me right now what they're called. I know you guys know what they're called. I'm not going to go through it, okay? So I know one of them is called like hooks and the other one is called loops or something like that. Whatever. I'm going to call this the soft side and the scratchy side, okay? Soft side is going to be on your crochet, the actual pages. The scratchy side is on the other side. Someone's saying that E6000 is toxic. Well, I'm glad I'm not using it. I'm using hot glue. So there you go. So perfect for me. Anyways, and then when you're done with it, you just put your numbers on. You can substitute the Velcro with what's it called? The magnetic snaps. Magnetic snaps. Sorry about that. Word was gone for a second. You can substitute with magnetic snaps if you like. I'll show you in a second how they look like, okay? For this side, I would like to show you at least how to do the carrots, okay? For the garden, the dirt area, this is literally just single crochet rows. The only difference is that I added a few rows of, literally, there's 3 rows, where I skipped some stitches. I made some chains. The rest of it is single crochet stitches. So I'm not going to cover this right now, right? That's all there is. But I want to show you how to do the carrots. I'm also going to skip the circle on this side, okay? But I will talk you through it on this little thing in a second. So let's do the carrot. I'm just making it in blue. My carrot's going to be blue, okay? Blue carrot for y'all. Let's do that, okay? I'm going to have to pull up my page here. I have the written pattern next to me. I do not have that part memorized. So let me pull it up. Hang on. There we go. Carrot pulled up. Here we go. Crochet hook on my hand. Not on yours, on mine right now. I'm going to zoom it in. Hopefully I didn't go too far. I probably did. Just a little bit further. Is this good? Yay! Okay, so let's make the carrot together all in blue. Haha, we're going to have a blue carrot together. Okay, so we're going to start with the magic ring. Okay, so first of all, I do want you to pay attention to this right now. The first row is the hardest. Are you listening to me? Are you? First row is the hardest, or round, okay? So, make a magic ring. Hang on, I'm going to slow down for a second. Where are my beginners at? First, magic rings are a loosened up slip knot. Say it with me. A magic ring is a loosened up slip knot. Can I do a slip knot? Yes, I can. Can you? Yes, you can, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to make a chain, right? So if you know how to make a slip knot, you know how to make a magic ring. Pay attention, I'll show you. So if this is how you make your slip knot, right? You have your slip knot, and then, hang on, I'm going to do it like this. Slip knot, and then you pull. Ta-da, my slip knot. Okay, what's going to happen right now is when you make a magic ring, right? All you're doing is not pulling it. Haha. Not pulling it. You leave that open. You're crocheting right into the knot. Did you know that? Did you know that? Magic rings are loosen up slip knots. Got it? Put that hook in there, right? Put it in there. There we go. And you're going to hold it in place. You're going to take your ring finger, okay? And you're going to put it inside your little knot. You get it? Where the slip knot would be, right? In there. Put it in there. Great. Create some tension. Make a chain of 1. And hold everything nicely in place. To-do! There we go. Now all you got to do is crochet, right? Literally crochet onto your ring, okay? Keep that finger in. If you don't, it's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard. You're going to yell at me. No, I'm not taking the yelling. It would be yelling at yourself, like looking in a mirror. We're not doing that. We're staying nice over here. Okay, so you're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches. Do you see how that tension helps me crochet? If I take that out, oh my gosh, I can't, this bends around in all kinds of ways. Put that ring finger in there. Okay, it's pretty for a reason. Okay, so you are going to make a single crochet stitch, 3 of them in a row. You are going to take your loop. You can leave it like this if you want. I like to take this out, right? And then just pull. And you got it. Yay! Okay, so we are now going to go in rounds. And this is why I said it's a little bit difficult, okay? It's because we only have 3 single crochet stitches. It's like half a circle, okay? It's a little bit hard, okay? So what you're going to do right now, let me look at my pattern right now, is you're going to do 1 single crochet and 2 stitches. It's a little difficult. So you've got this, okay? You kind of have to bend it around a little bit. So kind of go backwards to see which one is your stitch. This one right here is your chain of 1. Don't go into that, okay? So look, 1, 2, 3. This is my first stitch. So I'm going to go into the first stitch right here, okay? Into that stitch. This is hard. It's the first one is the hardest. Go into that stitch and you're simply going to make a single crochet stitch. 1. Ooh, I forgot my stitch marker. Hang on, go back. Put your stitch marker on it. Or for me, it's my yarn end. I'm doing that. I'm laying it over like that, okay? My yarn end. Now I'm going to make my single crochet stitch in the first stitch and also in the next stitch, okay? Like so. Then in the last stitch, you're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches. So what I'm doing right now is I'm bending this a little bit. So I'm working on the outside. Do you see that? I'm bending it and kind of pushing it down, right? It's like my fingers behind it, pushing it down. So now I'm going to crochet in the last stitch my 2 single crochet stitches. So 1 and 2. It's still a little challenging. It's okay. We're getting it. We're getting there, okay? We're getting it wider. Pull up your stitch marker, move it over to the next round, and go into the following round, which is 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, 1 and 1, and then we have an increase, right? Oh no, the second one is an increase. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you in a second what I mean. So I'm going to do the next one as an increase, just like I just said, right? And then there's going to be 1 single crochet at the end. So what you're doing right now is you're going to crochet 1 stitch per stitch, but somewhere in your round, you're going to add 1 increase. Just one, anywhere you want. Follow the pattern to the T if you like, or put it wherever you want, okay? So, for example, right now I have, how many stitches do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I have 5 stitches. I went from 3 to 4 to 5, okay? So in the next round, I want to have 6 stitches. So wherever I want, I add an increase. Wherever I want. It could be right in the beginning. Let's do it right in the beginning. I'm going to do it right here, an increase, okay? Ta-da! Increase done. Now, I don't recommend adding them on top of each other, otherwise your carrot's going to be slanted. So add it randomly, okay? Wherever you want in that row, you're going to add an increase, just not on top of each other. Okay, it's going to make it slanted. You don't want a slanted carrot. You want a nice even carrot. Unless you want a slanted carrot, then go for it, okay? Are we all good? How's everyone doing? Is everyone following along? I know it's a little bit longer today. You've got this. Stay till the end for prizes, okay? We still have 105 people here. You guys are amazing. You're patient, and you can do this. You love crochet, so stick around, okay? We are getting there. We're almost done. So anyways, is this clear so far on the carrot? Are we all clear? You're going to go until round, let me look, until round 5. Until round 5, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch, but somewhere in that round, you're going to make an increase, okay? How many rounds did I just do? I don't even know. I'm going to do one more together here with y'all, okay? I'm going to add, ooh, I pulled my stitch marker too far. Let me see if I can pull my stitch marker out. Whoopsie daisies. Okay, hang on. Pull that out. So that was my son. That was not me. Haha. That's okay. So I'm going to pull my stitch marker out. And did you guys even hear that? I don't even know if you heard that. He just dropped something. It's totally fine. Okay, so we are going to go in the next round. I'm going to do one more round here. One single per stitch, and wherever I want, I'm adding an increase. So I'm going to do that right here. I don't even know how many rounds I did. Can anyone count? I don't know how many rounds I did so far. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to my teaching, not how many rounds I did. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right now, okay? I pretend this is the amount of rounds I needed to do, okay? So what you're going to do at the very end, the last round, aka round 6, you're going to do decreases all the way around, okay? So this is rounds. You're doing the invisible single crochet decrease. So let me show you. You're going to go through the front loops of 2 stitches. Pay attention. We are not doing the regular decrease. Front loop, got it? Pull that through, yarn over, pull through, decrease. Okay, yes, you guys all heard it. That's fine. I think it was just, I don't even know, it's the keys or something. You let it fall down. It's totally fine. Anyways, we're going to go over to the next one. I'm going to answer your question in a second. Holly says, actually, let me go to it right now. Holly says, so increase anywhere except on the top of the previous increase. Holly, yes, that's 100% correct. You got it, girl. Okay, so we're going to go into the next one. Right here is another decrease. So going through 2 front loops and make a decrease, okay? So that very last round, that's what you're doing all the way around. By the way, that's green, of course, or whatever color you want your carrot to be, okay? Green. Doing that all the way to the end. I'm going to do it here one more time, right? And that's my decrease. So right now, you would be doing cutting your orange, and then going to the green, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm going to pretend I did that, and I'm just going to continue with my blue, okay? So you know you're cutting your orange, you're starting with your green, okay? So the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you right now what you would be doing. Okay, so you are, Am says, I can't wait to make carrots. Let's go! They're good for your eyes. Well, not those ones, but the real ones. You know what I mean. Okay, so what you're now going to do is you're going to add the little, let me say, a little fuzzy is there at the top, okay? That's the green part. I'm going to show you how to do it in blue right now, but what I want you to pay attention to is very important. If you're crocheting continuously the way you just did on the outside, you know how we crocheted on the outside, right? This is the front side, this is the right side of your work, and we went around it in circles. If you're righty, you went towards the left. If you're lefty, you went towards the right, right? That's the outside. What you're going to do right now is you're doing the opposite, okay? I'll show you in a second what that means. If you don't, that little green stuff is going to hang downwards. If you are not working from the inside right now, you're going to have your green stuff hanging down. If you want it to stick out like a carrot, you need to do what I'm telling you right now, okay? So I'm going to actually cut my yarn right now to make it easier for you guys to understand, okay? So what you're going to do, instead of going from this view, think of it like this way. You are instead of going from front loop to back loop, you're going to go from back loop to front loop, okay? That's what you're doing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So pretend this is green, okay, and I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to do one of them right now. Actually, make it easier. I'm going to go first through with my hook, front loop, back loop, right? Now it's front loop, back loop. Actually, if you turn it around, it would be the other way, right? But we're going from the inside, By the way, I didn't stuff it or anything, okay? So you're going from the inside. Are you seeing that? It's like you're working on the opposite side of your project. From the inside. You're going from the back loop to the front loop, whatever you want to call it, okay? And you're going to pull your yarn through. If you don't do that, it's going to hang downwards. If you are doing it, it's going to stick up. Just that you know. Okay, so now we're going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to do a slip stitch or single. I forgot, slip stitch. And you're going to do a slip stitch literally in those 2 chains. You skip the first one, right? And you go to the next one. So now you're going to go over to the next side, okay? From the top, you're going literally from the inside outwards. So back loop, front loop. Do you see that? Okay, if I hold it like this, it would be back loop, front loop. So we're going from the inside. You're going to go make a slip stitch, and you're going to make your chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and you make your slip stitch. Right? 1 here, 1 here. And then you're going to continue around until you're the end. And you already can see it. It's sticking upwards and not downwards. You guys got it? I know it's a blue carrot. I know it's a little bit hard to see. Are you guys clear? It's literally chain of 3 and 2 slip stitches. That's it. And then you go to the next one, slip stitch, start over. All right, that's it on the carrots. Ta-da! Okay, snip that away. Whee! Okay, let's pull up our project again because we're almost done. All right, zoom that out. Is that too far? Can I do it? Yay. Okay, I know this is white. It doesn't like white. It's okay. Let me move my little needle to the side. Okay, so we talked about we're good on circles, so I'm not going to cover the circle. I do want to point this part out real quick how I did this. Okay, so if you are buying the same thing I did, then hang on, it's hard to pick up. It's gonna come with a few different pieces, okay? Little bit hard to see on camera right now. You're gonna have these 2 pieces, and then you have the arms of your clock. Okay, that's what, if you're buying the same thing, you don't have to, you can buy something else, okay? But that is what I bought right here. In order to make this spin, okay, you're going to connect these together, okay? You're going to take the one that has the little nub on it, okay? You're going to put the big one on it first, the minute hand, right? And then you're going to put the other one on top, and then you're going to squish this tiny one, which is really hard to show on camera, right on the top, okay? You squish it together. Now, I can't do that on camera right now because it's too hard. I have to with my nails right now, okay? So you put that right on top. It's still going to allow you to spin it, okay? So when you've done that, you're going to have this area. So let me show you. Right here on the back, this is still going to move. Okay, right here in the back, there's a little gap. Do you see that little gap right here? I'm putting my nail in between so you can kind of see it. I know it's not focused. So do you see that area right there? That area right there, okay? That area. You're going to take some thread. That's kind of behind here. You're going to take some thread, wrap it around, and sew it to your circle. This is before you're gluing this on, okay? Sew it to your circle. Come back up. Wrap it around, sew it to the circle, okay? Wrap it around, sew it to the circle. All on the back of it, okay? On that little tiny area. You just need to make sure you pull it each time. I sometimes even make knots, okay? And that is only on the back of it. You're not coming on the top before, on front of it. It's right behind here, okay? Let me point out that little nub again, okay? Whoops, I lost it. Okay, so this is laying right on top here, right? That little area, that little gap, that is where you're putting your yarn, but you have to squeeze the top on first, of course, okay? And then you're sewing it on with thread. Yarn is not going to work, it's too thick. Thread. And that will allow you to still spin it. Can you glue it? I would not recommend it. First of all, metal is not good to be glued. There's not enough, rough surface in order to hold it, so that's not going to work. Okay, trust me on it. Plus, you might touch this part. Don't do glue on this. Just sew it on with thread. That's all. Okay, and that will still spin it. These guys, yes, I glued them on with hot glue. Then I glued on my circle, and then I'm all done. Woohoo! By the way, I see 107 people here. You guys are amazing. Stick around for prizes at the end. We're almost there, okay? Let's go to the next page. Okay, this one I'm not going to cover, but I'll guide you through it. What did I do? Okay, it's written down in a written pattern. Don't worry, okay? This is just single crochet stitches. It's a rectangle, single crochet stitches. Added my Velcro pieces, and that's it. Boop! Done. Now this, I literally just wrapped yarn around it. And every few rows, I don't even know, I see here 5 rows in between. Every time I did my yarn around it, I added a little jingle bell, right? Then I wrapped yarn around it again, jingle bell. Wrapped yarn around, jingle bell. Get it? Right? That's all I did. And then I made like a little knot here in the back and then wove it through. And that's it. That's all I did. You don't have to add this. I'm just letting you know that's what I did. Okay? So here we go. For this piece, I'm not going to cover this because it is literally an oval. Okay? We talked about the ovals. And the last round, you can actually do however you want because every cloud looks different. So I put random stitches on there. Okay? And I just repeated them all over again. Okay? That's literally what I did. I did like single, half double, double, 2 stitches, and then repeat kind of thing, okay? I'm not going to cover the oval again. There is a squeaker behind it, just so you know. Squeaker behind here. I am going to show you real quick how I added this part. So I'm going to take my little oval I have over here, pretend that's a circle, and I'm going to show you what I did, okay? Let me make a little knot over here. All right, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to add the fuzzies, okay? I call them with a latch hook, technically, like latch hooky, right? So you can use an actual latch hook or you can use your crochet hook, okay? I just use my crochet hook, you guys, seriously, okay? You don't have to use a latch hook. You don't have to buy a latch hook, okay? So here's what I did, okay? You're going to take your yarn. I don't even cut it beforehand. I cut it after. So I got to grab my scissors so I can show you. Okay, so I grabbed my yarn like this, okay? Literally, I took it like this. I put my hook in. I pulled this through, okay? And then I pulled this through again. This is the latch hook part of it. Pulled that through, okay? And then I cut my yarn right here. You can cut it beforehand if you like, right? And then there we go. You can do it. Here's another way how to do it, okay? You're going to make a loop, and it doesn't matter how long it is. You trim it later. You give it a haircut later. Doesn't matter, okay? Do it right now. Just one per stitch, okay? Make your loop. Pull that through. This is the stage where you can cut it if you want, okay? Cut it here if you like. And then you're going to take this, right? Yarn over, pull through. Done. And you're going to do this all the way around your circle, right? Give it a haircut at the end. And you're like, okay, I want it to be nice and clean. And then you go all the way around and give it a haircut. So it doesn't matter how long it is, right? And that is literally how I made the little sun. Ta-da! That's it. Then you either glue it on or sew it on. Your choice. I'll tell you what I did. I glued it on. Ha 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 ha. Why? Goes much quicker. Who cares? You're not going to be able to pull this off anyways. Literally. And babies can't pull this off. Okay? It's good. It's nice and glued on. Plus, it secures the little lines right here because they're really not that strong held together. Right? So if you want to make sure that nothing gets pulled out, add glue. Trust me on this. Because you know how babies are. They're going to hold this. They're going to pull here. If you want to make sure that doesn't come undone, you add the glue right behind the little latch hooky area, right behind the little hair pieces. It's going to hold it nicely in place, and they're not going to be able to pull these out because they're not perfectly strong on there. Let's be clear. Look at this, okay? This is not a perfect knot. I can take this out easily. But if you have glue right behind it, it's not going to come undone. Okay? Now, again, I did the same with the little cloud, just without the hair. Okay? I mean, if you want to add clouds with rain on it, mine is a happy one. Okay? Mine is not raining right now. Mine is sucking up the water. Okay? Mine is happy, which is why I added behind the blue sky. Okay, so anyways, if you want to have a rain cloud, go ahead and do so. Maybe swap them out if you want. But I am not making it rain. Not over here. We don't cry over here. We smile. Okay, anyways, we got it now. Sun, cloud, good. All right, let's go to the next one, okay? So there's two more things I want to show you. This little flowery part, and then the beginning part of this flowery part. And then we're done, okay? At least from the crocheting perspective. Because this is just single crochet stitches. Let's be clear. Here, what did I do? I'm just going to take the red one off right now, okay? Doesn't matter which one. All I did is I did not glue. I sewed on my little buttons. Find some yellow buttons. Any buttons, okay? I just added these. Now you do want to make sure that your button fits through your little hole. That's all you got to make sure of, and then you're good, okay? Then you can put your little flowers on and you're good. That's it, okay? So this is a whiteboard in case someone wasn't paying attention to it. I glued it on. Done. Let's do the flower real quick here. Flowery part's gonna be blue. Okay, so let me pull this up here on my piece of paper because I have the pattern in front of me. I gotta zoom down. Whee! That's probably too far. Ooh, Nikki, that's too far. Is it gonna focus? Focus. There we go. Okay, so where's my hook? My hook disappeared. Here it is. Okay, flower. It's in front of me. Okay, we're going to start with a chain of 6, okay? Tina says, as it goes, it never rains in California. It doesn't rain right now. No, it's way too hot over here. Although we have it humid, you would expect it to rain at some point, but nope, it's not going to do it. Our water is too cold for that rain part. It needs to be much colder in order to have that. Anyways, here's what you're going to do. You're going to make a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now you're going to connect the first with the last. Here's what you're going to do. You have two choices. You're either going to go into the chain or you're going to go into the chain space. I'll show you in a second what I mean. But if you are going to go into each chain and you want to make sure you're keeping 6 stitches. How do you do that? You're like, Nikki, if I connect the first with the last stitch with a slip stitch, one of the stitches disappears. We're not doing that. Here is how to do that. You're going to have your chain. You're going to take your hook out. You're going to make sure your chain is straight. Okay, we're not making a Mobius shawl. We're making a circle. Okay, so you're going to go into the first stitch that you made. I like to go in the back bump. Yes, I do. Okay, go behind. You're only doing that for chains. You're not doing that on a human. All right, anyways, we're now going to go and grab that loop. Wink! And we're going to pull it through that little back bump that I just pulled through. Pull it through. Okay? So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Ta-da! I didn't lose one. Okay, so you have 2 choices now. Okay, first of all, you can weave in your ends here at the same time. You can go into every single chain right now and crochet what you need to crochet. Or you go into the space right here. Okay, literally crochet around the stitches. It doesn't matter. You do you, okay? You do you. I'm just going to try to go into the spaces instead of the chains to make it a little quicker. So if you're like, I don't want to finagle around with my chain, it's fine. Just go into space, okay? So go around your stitches, around your chain. So let me show you what I mean. So you are going to do, let me check real quick, 2 single crochet stitches per stitch or 12 stitches into the circle. So let's do that, okay? So 12 stitches. I'm just going to do that. 12 stitches into the circle, okay? Instead of going to every single chain. That takes too long. I'm just going to go into all the way around. So this is 3, 4, 5. I'm seeing it as a magic ring, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12. I'll tell you this version is prettier than my version. I'll show you that, okay? If you go into every single chain, this is how it's going to look like. You're going to have this, and it's going to pull here a little bit. This is a prettier version. So either go into every chain and do 2 single crochet stitches, or go into the chain space in the center, that ring, okay? And just do that and put 12 stitches in that. This is prettier. I should have done that. This is probably not as pretty as that, at least in my opinion. But I might be biased. This is subjective. All right, let's go into the next round. I believe you only have one more round to go. Yay! Okay, so you're going to make, I believe, a slip stitch. Am I right? Yep, slip stitch. Okay, we're going into the first one. Make a slip stitch. I like to do the invisible way. I showed it a few times now, so I'm going to do it quickly over here. All right, we're going to go. How many people are still here? We still have 103 people here. You guys are amazing. Everyone's chance to win some prizes. Let's do it. Okay, and you can snip this away here. I just wove this in at the same time, okay? So, snip that away. Gone. Okay, there we go. In the next round, I'm just going to show you the beginning of it. I'm not going to do it all the way to the end. Is going to be, let me check, chain of 2. 1, 2. Then we have 2 double crochet stitches right here in the same space. So 1 and 2, same stitch. Okay, I shouldn't call it space. Stitch. Right? So chain of 2, 2 double crochet stitches. Then you're going to make a chain of 2, 1, 2. You're going to make a slip stitch to the same stitch. And you have your first little petal done. Let me say again what I just did. Okay? Pay attention. Chain of 2, 2 doubles, chain of 2, slip stitch. All in one stitch. You got it? All in the same stitch. Now what you're going to do is you're going to skip 1 stitch, go into the next one, right here, make a slip stitch, and start over. I'm going to do it one more time with y'all, okay? Chain of 2, 2 doubles in the same stitch, 1 and 2, chain of 2, and skip, it is not skip, slip stitch down, okay? Then you skip a stitch, slip stitch to the next, repeat. Are we all good? Is this making sense? Now it looks like Mickey Mouse. He. But yes, so that's how I did it. Are we all good on this? Are we all good on this? Color Craft says, I chose the space to make it more sturdy. Sounds about right. I should have done it too. Yay, you guys are amazing. All right, are we all good on this? I think we're good on this, right? All right, let's go to the next thing. So let me pull this out. Zoom back out so everyone can see. All right, so we just covered those little flowers, right? There should be 6 petals all the way around. This, I literally, as I said, I glued on. If you have like one of those markers laying around or you don't have to buy one separate, then yay. But this one comes like a pack of 6 or something like that. So I'm just letting you know, heads up, that's what I did. These are 3x3 little squares and I glued it on. If you don't want to do that, then do something else. It's totally fine, okay? And here on my very last page, I added an acrylic. Let me say it again. Acrylic mirror. Acrylic. It's not glass. Acrylic. It bends. Okay, it bends. You know the ones that you see at the not the craft fair, the county fairs? You know, you go into those illusion thingies and the maze thing, and you always have those weird mirrors that make you look either skinny like a bean or fat like a ball. You know what I mean, right? They're using mirrors that have acrylic. It has acrylic mirrors, okay? They're bendable. That's what you're using. They don't break. All right, so that's what I did over here. Now, I didn't glue it on yet. I glued it on after I made my flower. So, okay, so all you're doing with the flower, I'm going to show you the beginning part of it. I'm not going to make the entire circle, but pretty much you're making a chain. Then you're going to connect it the same way as I just did, and I make 1 single crochet per stitch, okay? Then you're adding your petals. I'm going to show you the petal part right now, okay? Just the petal part. All right, so I'm going to snip this away. Snip, okay? Oh, I lost my carrot. I got to put my carrot back. Whoopsie daisy, carrot, go back. All right, zoom that in. Gloria, did you get your box, girl? Good job. I'm so happy. I hope you love all your goodies. All right, is this good enough? Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so let me check here real quick. Doobie-doobie-doo. I'm checking real quick. Okay, I'm gonna make a chain of 7 right now because I know that multiple is 6 in that for the little petal. Excuse me, for the flower. One of the petals is a multiple of 6. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? Because the first chain doesn't count. And I'm going to make a single crochet right now. I'm showing you one of the petals. One of the petals. You are making a circle, right? You make a chain of 30 actually, and then slip stitch it and keep the 30 stitches, right? But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do one of the petals just so I can show you how to do it. You're doing it in rounds. I'm just going to demonstrate right now in rows. Emily says, I think this may be your longest video to date. I've done one before that was 2 hours long. So are we getting close to? We're 1.5 hours, so not the longest one yet. But you guys are doing amazing. I know this is the longest pattern of all of them. So whatever comes next should all be much shorter. Fingers crossed, unless you guys need a lot of help, which is totally fine if that is the case, okay? So let me show you really quickly here this part of the petal. Okay, the petal, hang on, I gotta look real quick. You would do a slip stitch, which I can't do right now, okay? Slip stitch. Then chain of 2, 1, 2, wait, that was almost 3. Chain of 2. You're gonna make a double crochet stitch, 1 and 2. Hang on, I have something in my eye. 1 and 2. Okay, so here we go. Chain of 2 and double crochet stitch. Then you're going to make a triple crochet stitch. So what I'm telling you now goes in the next stitch, okay? So triple crochet stitch goes in the next stitch. 1, triple in the next stitch. Then you do a chain of 2, 1, 2, and a slip stitch to the first chain made. And you're going to make another triple, I believe. Yep, another triple crochet stitch in the same stitch, like so. All right, and then you're going to make a double in the next stitch right here, and we're going to make a chain of 2, 1, 2, and you're going to make a slip stitch down right there, and then you're going to make another slip stitch, and then I believe then it starts over, right? I believe that is how it works. Anyways, so that's going to go all the way around, okay? And then you have all your petals, okay? So there's just one little petal right there. Ta-da! Okay, so now let's see. There's a quick question. Cheryl has a question about the thermal stitch. Okay, Cheryl, what's your question about the thermal stitch? You got to tell me. You can't just tell me you have a question. I can't read your mind, girl. Got to tell me. Speaking of the thermal stitch, I'm going to talk about that in a second. So here, I'm just going to cover this real quick. This is all single crochet stitches, and then we do the end here is like the triangle that I showed you at the beginning. Okay, so now that part you're just going to sew on. I sewed this part on. I added a little bit of a, Velcro piece, and then over here is also just single crochet stitches. Okay, so what you're going to do is when you have all your pages done, hang on, I got to zoom out. I'm too close. Too close. Okay, move everything to the side so I can really show you. So what you're going to do first is you're going to make all your pieces, aka your cover, your binding, your pages. You're going to put everything onto your pages, everything. Then you're going to do the sewing part, okay? Because you see the thickness right here, right? You got to make sure that when you're creating this, that they're enough distance apart that it doesn't look wonky, okay? So what you need to do is once you have all your pages aligned the way you want to, like however you want your order to be. You see it's 6 pages, but 6 pieces of paper, but paper in crochet, but 12 pages, right? You order them up however you like them to be. Then you're going to take your binding that you created, right? Also in thermal crochet, and you're going to sew it on. Make one of the lines, sew it on, okay? Ignore the cover right now. The cover is not there yet, okay? Just the binding. Then you're going to lay the next one on top and make sure that it's about parallel to each other. So there can be a small distance apart or a big distance. You can see that some of them have a bigger distance. This one is a bigger distance, right? So this one is a small distance. Then you sew that on. How did I sew it on? Literally whip stitch. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay? Then I moved it over, added the next page on top. Cheryl, I'll get to you in just a second, okay? And yes, I will recount it for you, Cheryl. No worries. I'll take care of it. Let me just finish this and I'll show you exactly how to count the thermal stitch again, okay? So then I added the next page on top. Made sure that it's about parallel. Again, once I did that, I started sewing this together. Then I add the next page, sew it together. Again, I use the whip stitch. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, right? Next page, next page, next page, until you're done. You could add more pages. As you can see, there's more room, right? So then when you're done with that, you're going to lay it out. You're going to lay it like this, okay? And then figure out how do you want to fold your cover. You're going to add your cover around. By the way, this is not there yet, okay? That's not there yet. Do not add this until it's all done. This is your last piece. This is your last piece, okay? Now you're going to lay it in, and you're going to figure out where do I want it to be, okay? So, by the way, let's see. Okay. Are there any questions, by the way, to order this, okay? I just want to make sure it's all good. Do I need to point at something? I think it should be okay, but just want you to know, okay? What you're going to do is, like, once you're binding and your pieces are sewn together, your pages, okay? You're going to lay it and say, okay, where do I want this to be? You kind of move it around and figure it out, right? You're going to figure it out. Do I want this to be right on the edge? Do I want it a little bit shorter? I wanted mine just to be a hint shorter. So when I put this over, like this, it makes it nice and rounded, okay? So that's what I did. All right, so I made this just a little shorter. It's almost the length of it, right? So I laid it down. Then you can add stitch markers if you like. Then I said, okay, this is where it touches, so I'm going to add my whipped stitch right here, okay? I added like stitch marker here and here, and then I started sewing that together. Then I put it back in. I said, okay, where do I need the other side to be? So I'm going to squeeze it together, right? And then look across. Okay, right there. So then I add a stitch marker here and here, right? And then I sewed that part together. Then I folded everything in, and then I added this part. It's like, where do I want this to be, right? I laid it all in, added my little Velcro piece, and then I sewed this on, and then I sewed this on at the very end. Are we good? Are we good? I just want to make sure. Are there any questions? I'm going to show Cheryl now how to count rows again. In the meantime, you guys ask me questions. Feel free to ask me questions. Swoop. Let me pull up my little thermal crochet piece again. I'm going to zoom in again so I can show Cheryl how to count. Okay, zoom that in. Is this clear? Yep. Okay, so here's how you're going to do it. You're going to pick the side that has all the rounded pieces. So I'm going to take my little needle again. This is the little rounded pieces I'm talking about. Are you seeing those little roundness? Think of them like bridges. I don't know, whatever you want to call them, okay? I call them like little round pieces or bridges. They're the ones that are stacked on top of each other. Those are stitches. That's the back side of your single crochet stitch, okay? You're going to count the ones that are on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. Got it? So that's 3 on this side. Now I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to count the round pieces on this side. I only see 2. 1 and 2. Why? Because this row right here was our last row and we already counted it on this side, right? So this is the front view of that. We only count that very last row once. The last row is counted once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we good? Okay, Louise says, do you include how long to make the counter cover? When you say long, I don't know what you mean by long. I wrote down the rows and the chain count. I guess that's the same. Are you talking about measurement-wise? I can measure it for you real quick if you want. I didn't add the measurement to it because it's a little stretchy. Okay, let me zoom back out. Zoom out. Okay, so let me measure it for you real quick. I'm going to lay it out. Okay, keep in mind, it is sewn on right now. It may take a little bit off, okay? And in terms of, is this far enough? I'm going to just measure it right now. I know you don't see everything right now, but I'm going to still do it, okay? So remember, it is stretchy, okay? It is stretchy, so it might not be exact perfect, okay? So I'm going to lay this out right now. Hang on. I got to make sure it's on the edge, okay? There. And I'm going to show you. So this is about 20. Okay, are you seeing it? 20 inches long. That's what mine is, roughly. And then across, remember, the cover is longer than the pages, just like a book, right? This is roughly 7.5, 7, depending on how you stretch, right? You see it? 7 to 7.5, roughly. The pages is, and this is inches, by the way, page is about 6. Are you seeing that? 6. Let's see. Across, let's move this to the side, is roughly also 6. Okay, so it's 6 times 6. I hope that kind of makes sense. Are we good on this? Yes, it's in inches. Susan says, where did you get the items for the pages? Mirror squeaky. Those are all in the material list. Susan, do you see that linked stitch? No, Susan, for you, you have to look in the comments. You're on Facebook. Okay, look in the comments. You will see a link in the comments from me. Okay, do you see a link that takes you to this pattern? There's a material section. All the words that are a different color on my website that are pink, I believe is the color, you're going to be able to click on it. I'm going to show you real quick. If you have the written pattern in the ebook, if you buy the ebook, link is above me. If you buy the ebook, okay, then you have it in blue. Everything that's blue is clickable in the ebook. If you purchase the PDF separately, same situations, also blue. You're going to be able to click on this. On my website, I believe it's pink. Okay, the words are pink. You can click on these. It will take you straight to it. See, it mentions over here everything you need. The pony beads, the foam numbers, the jingle bells, the squeakers, the mirror. Everything is listed over here. Okay, all you have to do is tap. It's in the material list of the pattern. All right, are there any more questions about that? Let's see. Sunshine. Nikki, on the pattern, when you wrote out the first row of the cover, hang on. It says 20 stitches. Count after 75. Wait, what are you saying? Hang on. Let me look at the pattern so you know. Whoopsie daisy. All right. Oh, there's a typo. It's supposed to be 74. There's a typo. I copied something over. You're right. There's a typo. Okay, I'm going to point to it real quick. I'm going to fix that. I just realized I didn't see that before. Okay, right here it says 2120. This is 75, should be 74. Over here, 24. This should be 23. My apologies. I kept the 20 by accident because I copied the line over. So that's my mistake. So this is 20 is correct. This is 74. And let me just, where's my pen? Where's my pen? Okay. So this, 74. I'm going to fix it. Don't worry. Okay, and this is 23. Okay, do you see that? Okay, that's my mistake. My apologies. Okay, let's see. Are there any more questions? Andrea says, I requested to join a Facebook group, but still waiting. We accept people once a day. As long as you answer the questions, you will get in. Don't worry. Okay? You just need to make sure you answer the questions. We don't take people that don't answer questions. You're just sitting there. Okay? Go back into the group and then tap. There, sometimes it says answer questions. If you haven't answered the questions yet, you can't get in. Make sure you answer the questions. Becky says, where does the squeaker go? Right here. Behind the sun and the moon and the cloud. That's where it is. Okay. So I'm just gonna check. Okay, I think I got everyone. All right. So really quickly, let me swoop around. Really quickly. Let's take like 5 minutes to really, because we have so many people here and a lot of you guys are new. So I'm going to take 5 minutes or so to really cover really quickly what is this live mystery crochet along about and what can you get in the ebook if you choose to buy it. You don't have to, but if you choose to buy it. Okay, so let me take 5 minutes to cover this real quick. Here's the overview about the live mystery crochet along versus ebook. The live mystery crochet along has 6 patterns. This is pattern 1 we just covered. It's the sensory quiet book. That's pattern 1. There's 5 more to go. The mystery is you don't know which of the 5s. Which 5 am I pulling from? Where do I pull them from? Not just out of my head. It's going to be out of those 40 from the ebook. Okay, I'm pulling 5 out. 5 more. We already have the first one out, right? 5 more are being pulled out of the ebook and going to be made available free to view. You can purchase individually on Ravelry and Etsy if you like, but I personally think the ebook is better because you save more money with that. Just that you know, okay? So if you are in Nikki's Crochet Club, you will get those 6 mystery patterns ad-free and printer-friendly. On my website, the free-to-view version has ads, is not printable. You got it? So if you're okay with ads and if you're okay not printing it, then go with that. Everyone gets access to the live tutorials. Everyone has a chance for prizes, which we're about to do. And everyone has a chance to be part of the bingo game. I'll show you that in a second as well. The ebook has 40 patterns and 65 plus videos. It's instant access, ad-free, printer-friendly, large font, clickable buttons. Got it? Okay, so here's our quick overview regarding the patterns, okay? Pattern 1 was today. We have every other day is a pattern, okay? So 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. The times listed is when we have our live tutorials. If you sign up for the free event or the ebook, you get an email the evening before of those days with the link to each individual live tutorial so you can know where to go, okay? Now, what is inside the ebook? All of these patterns. All of them. This is your overview, okay? I'm not going to go through it one by one because if you head over to this link, you will see them all a little bit more up close, okay? So roughly, these are all kids' toys. In fact, we have a lot of sets in here, such as the chicken up there, right? That's a set. We have a lot of game boards in here, soccer game, chutes and ladder, fishing game with magnets, finger puppets, magic wallet. We have an Amish puzzle ball. We have a tic-tac-toe game, chess, all kinds of other things regarding kids' toys, all included in one ebook, okay? So you can print it out the way I did. You can also use it digitally, okay? This is the ebook, 128 pages. Are we good? The sale is going on until the 15th, $15 off using that code up there. So take advantage of that, okay? Let's see. Jen says, I won yesterday. What does that mean for today? That means you can still be part of the bingo, but you can't be part of the questions that I'm asking later. So let me show you really quick the bingo. I'm going to do it from the top-down view because we're going to check it off, okay? So that way you guys know. For those... Hang on. I meant to remove this so I can show you. All right, here we go. So if you are, where did my pen go? I'm losing my pens. I just had it. Where did my pen go? Oh no, I lost. Oh, there it is. I found it. Ha ha ha. I knew I had it. Okay, so what you're going to do is either you get the ebook or you sign up for the free event and you're going to get your bingo. Bingo is 5 in a row, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. You need to read what it says below here. You need to show proof of what you did, okay? So let's find today real quick. This is today, right here. The bingo is also a guide for you for the live mystery crochet along. So right here it says, I joined the live tutorial for pattern 1. Take a screenshot right now so you can prove it. Right now, take a screenshot. That way when you check this off, you did it. You have your screenshot so you can prove that you were here, okay? Check it off, take a screenshot, done, okay? And then go through it at your own pace. Tina says, I bought the ebook the other day. Let's go, girl! I'm so happy for you. And Cheryl got it on Saturday. Yay! Okay, Debbie says, do you have a link for the bingo card? Yes, ma'am. It's, where's my finger at? Right there. Go to this link or QR code. It's all the link. This link is also in the description of this video. You can go there too, and then you can click it there. Okay, go there, and then once you sign up for the free event or the ebook, either way gets you access to the bingo card. Just pick which one works best for you. Either way, you get access to it. Okay? So now go ahead and take a screenshot real quick, check it off, and you're done. When you get 5 in a row, go into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki and prove you got bingo. Woohoo! You can get up to 12 bingos. That means 12 submissions. 1 bingo is 1 post. Whoa, we did it. I just did 5 minutes. Was I done? Was I good with 5 minutes? I think I did it pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a video real quick with some of the patterns while I can set up my little, game thing. You guys pay attention to this video here for a second, okay, while I set up. All right, I need to grab my bingo over here, and I need to make sure that my camera is in the viewpoint and I don't have a mess behind it from all my crocheting here. Okay, so sure hope that my camera is in the right spot right now. I gotta look. All right, hang on. I'm arranging. You guys pay attention to the video. I'm doing this right now, so that way you have a pretty view. And you guys can see everything. Okay, I think this is pretty darn good. Fingers crossed there's nothing else in the viewpoint. I can't see. All right, I think this is pretty darn good. All right, everyone saw what they needed to see? Okay, we're good. So let's move the video away. Woohoo! It's game time. Let me turn my lights on. Yay! Let's do it. We're going to do prizes now. We still have 103 people here. You guys are amazing. It's time for prizes. So how is this going to work? I'm going to guide you through the little rules that we have. So no worries, okay? We're going to dance around just like this little kitty cat and have a little party. Okay, this is going to happen every single time for the next 5 more videos, okay, when I do teaching about these kids' toys, okay? So make sure you come back, okay? This is our schedule. You can pause later and take a screenshot of this. This is today, Monday. The next one is on Wednesday, okay? Just like you know, prizes every single day. So we're going to do now the game time, okay? Game time! And I like to do this. Are you ready? I sure I am. Okay, so let's go and talk about the rules for a second. So I got to put this up. Where's my little rule thing? Okay, so first I'm going to show you. Actually, I got to show you this first. Here's my little, oh, I almost did it perfect. Ta-da! Okay, so this is our little spinny thing. Do you see the little numbers in there? Those numbers, let me get a little closer. Do you see those? Those numbers right there correspond to this sheet right here. So if you are a winner, you will see it. I will pop it up if you are a winner and have the correct answer. And one of the balls gives you a number, okay? Then we're going to look at the sheet and tell you what you won, okay? This is our sheet. You got it? So one of the things you can win would be a Ravelry gift card, $10, $20, or $30 Ravelry gift card, 5 or 10 PDF patterns of your choice from my Ravelry store. You can get an ebook, a coupon code, or a gift card. I think it's $15 and $20, okay? An ebook of your choice, or a yarn goodie box. So let me show you how that looks like. Where's my little, hang on, I gotta show you. Where is it? Here's a sample box. Ooh, this is in the way. Sample box, okay? So usually I only send out these boxes a special time of the year for new Nikki's Crochet Club members that join us in new annual during a special promotion, but they have to have a U.S. address. If you don't have a U.S. address, you get an ebook instead. Right here, you can win it, but U.S. address still the same thing, okay? So let's go to the prizes now. Woohoo! Remember, today's the longest day. All the other ones will be shorter. So just know that, okay? So here we go. Here are the rules for the game. If you recently won within the last month or two, don't answer. Give everyone else a chance. Bingo game is a separate game. Everyone starts at 0, okay? Just right now, if you recently won, don't answer. Okay, you're going to answer one question at a time, one time per question. The questions are easy. You're allowed to have typos for the words, just not numbers. Numbers are either correct or incorrect. You're going to answer really quickly. They're all easy, so that way it's all good and smooth, okay? I will find a random winner like this, and it has the correct answer. That person will win. So let's do it. Karen just bought the ebook. Let's go, Karen. I'm so happy for you. Here's your little confetti. Woohoo! Okay, question number 1 is this one right here. What did we crochet for pattern 1 of the live mystery crochet along? Pattern 1. What is pattern 1? What is pattern 1? Type it up. Your fingers should be worn. You've been typing up for a while. Typey, typey, typey. Go ahead and type. Leave your comment down below so we can find the random winner. We have about 100 people here, so come on. You guys, type it up. I should be seeing 100 answers, roughly. Well, some of you guys are excluded. You know, we talked about this. But where are my answers at? Go leave them down below. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick, and you guys answer. You're allowed to have typos on words, just not numbers. If it's incorrect altogether, well, it's incorrect, okay? But I have this feeling you all know it. That's because you know why you're here, right? There's a reason you're here. All right. Yay. Looks like you guys all good and you answered the question correctly. Now I just got to find the winner. Okay. So I'm going to remove the question and let's find our winner. Are we ready? All right. Mouse in the right position. Yep. Okay. Scrolly, 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 scroll. And I'm going to stop right. How about we going to stop right here? We have, that's the correct answer. Is it Phyllis? Hopefully I'm saying it right. Phyllis! Hold on, I gotta do my little confetti. Yay! Phyllis! Okay, sensory or quiet book or quiet sensory book of some sort. It's pretty much the same idea. Mine is not super quiet. You know, we have squeakers in there and such. Okay, so let's see what you won. Okay, we're gonna do the spin thing. Whee! And the other way. Whee! And there's the little ball. And you got number 23. So let's see. What is number 23? You got an ebook of your choice. Yay! I have 42 different ebooks. Many to pick from. So if you don't know what I have, go to my website, nikkishomemade.com, and tap the word ebook. And then you will see all 42 ebooks, okay? You get to pick one of them, Phyllis, and you're going to email me later. I'm going to show my email address so you can claim your prize. You got to email me, otherwise I can't get in contact with you. There's no reply button on YouTube. You got to get in contact with me to claim your prize. Okay, so we're going to go to question number 2. So make sure you take a screenshot, by the way, so you can prove that you are a winner. Okay. Question number 2. Question number 2 is this one. Name one of the activity pages. Tip on the side, that was 12 of them. Name one of the activity pages inside the sensory quiet book. Name one of the activity pages. Name one of them. We made all of them, or at least we talked about all of them. Most of them we crocheted in some kind of way or another. So tell me, name one of the activity pages inside the sensory quiet book. Pick one, tell me. So as long as you know what I did. Now, don't tell me one that you might make that is different from mine. That's not going to work. I'm asking you about my pages, okay? The ones I did. I showed you 12 of them. So pick one of them and then you put it in there. Jen says she emailed me yesterday. If I don't respond within 24 hours, I didn't get your email. You may have made a typo. I will talk about later how to get in contact with me if I did not respond to you, okay? So I will show you another method later how I for sure will get your message, okay? So stay here, Jen. If you won yesterday and I didn't respond to you, that means I didn't get your email. So stay here so I can show you later how to. Okay, looks like most of you guys got it. Woohoo! Let me remove this and let's find our winner. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put the mouse in the right position and let's scroll and up and down, and I'm going to stop right. How about here? We have... Ooh, that's a good one. The shoe! Carolyn! Yay! Congratulations! I have so many. Seriously. It's literally the clock, the shoe, abacus, numbers, letters. No, not letters. Circles, geometric shapes. We have so many. Mirror. We have so many different things. Garden. I don't know. I can't name them all right now on top of my head, but you needed to know only one. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what Carolyn won. Whee! And there's the number, and the number is 55. Let's see what you won. Number 55 is, another ebook of your choice. Yay! Congratulations to Carolyn. Yay! I am so happy for you. All right, let me put this back in. Ooh, there's a number that came out. Let's put those back in there. All right, let's remove that and that. And let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. All right, a quick little reminder before we get to question number 3. We have more prizes to give away every single day on those days right here. Come back. You're not only going to learn a kid's toy with me, right? You're part of the mystery crochet along. And you have a chance to win some prizes. These are easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come back, okay? Put it on your calendar. Next one is Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time, West Coast time. So calculate for your time zone. Question number 3 is this one right here. What is the $15 coupon code and when does it expire? Easy question. Very easy question. I maybe haven't said it outside. No, I said it one time. One time I said it verbally. But hint, hint, it's on screen. Literally just type it up, okay? It's on screen. I didn't remove it. Okay, what is the $15 coupon code? When does it expire? I know you know this answer. Spread it. Put it into the comment section. Hit the enter button. Keep in mind there's numbers involved. Don't have typos on that one. Otherwise it'll be incorrect, okay? So numbers can't be incorrect. Make sure that's correct before you hit the enter button and send it into the universe for me to see it and pull it in like Spider-Man. Way! Show it to me. Leave the comment so I can find it in the comment section. I see all of you guys. I see you all. Not directly, but I see your comments. So I can pick one of you guys to win. One of you who has the right answer. It is super easy lemon squeezy. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to remove this and let's find our winner. Okay, mouse in right position. Yup. All right. Scrolly, scrolly, scroll. And the winner is... Who's the winner? I'm going to stop right. I'm going to do the last one a little longer. Gives you another chance. Okay, I'm going to stop right. How about right here? We have, this is the right answer. Sunshine Toys 15 with August 15th. Look, it was right there. Perfect. Congratulations. Hold on, gotta do my kitty cat. Yay, Sunshine. Oh, look at that little chicken. I just realized you have a chicken right there. I didn't notice that before. You have a chicken as your picture. I love it. Okay, so let's see what you won. And there's the ball. And the number is that 1? It's number 1. Let's see. What is number 1? Is it a 1 or a 7? I don't know. I think it's a 1. I'm going to say it's a 1. And the 1 is a yarn goodie box. Yay! Congratulations! I hope you're in the US, then you just got a goodie box. You can substitute out to an ebook if you prefer, okay? So if you are outside of the US, you must take an ebook, unless you don't want a price, of course. But if you're in the US, you can pick a yarn box or ebook. So it's up to you. If it's a yarn box, I'm gonna need your address so I can send it to you. Yay! Congratulations to all the winners! So let me remove all the shenanigans so you guys can get in contact with me, either because you're a winner or because you have a question. So let's pop all of this up for you. Okay, right here is my email address. support@Nickis, Nickis, homemade crafts with an S.com. Put in the subject line winner of, then the price that you won and the date of today. Put in the email body a picture of you winning, okay, where your name is shown and as such. And then, some information. Yay, I had fun. I don't know, whatever. If I don't respond within 24 hours, here's what you're going to do. Jen, this is for you specifically. Go to my website directly, nickishomemade.crafts.com. That's my website. Go there, tap the contact button, fill out the form, and send it over to me. Okay? If I don't respond within 24 hours of you emailing me, you're going to use the form on my website, fill that out, and that way I can respond to you that way. Okay? 2 different ways to get in contact with me. Either by email, which is quicker than finding the form, but you can find the form too. It's a contact form. Fill it out and then email me. Okay, so get the ebook if you like. It's on sale, as you just saw. 40 patterns, 65 plus videos, 128 pages, clickable links, making it easy peasy lemon squeezy to go through it at your own pace. You don't have to wait for things, ad-free, printer-friendly, or join the free event. Either way, make sure you come back for the next one, which is pattern 2 on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. If we get over 100 views again, we're going to do 3 prizes again. Yay! Susan says, what did I win again? You won either the yarn box if you're in the US, if you want it, or an ebook. One or the other. US, get to pick. Susan, if you are in the US, you can either get the yarn box or you can get the ebook. The ebook is a higher value. It's up to you though. Okay? If you're outside of the US, you don't have a US address, you got an ebook of your choice. Susan, yay! Oh my gosh, you guys all did amazing. Thank you guys for showing up. I see you guys all back here on Wednesday for pattern 2. Happy hooking. I can't wait to see your sensory quiet books. Until then, bye-bye.